Elysia English and welcome back to my channel. Today we are working on a DIY in our 1920s abandoned home. If you've been following your journey, you know that we just went for 4 provinces over and moved to a house that we bought sight unseen. There are so many projects to do in this house, and today we thought we would do a fun DIY that actually goes along with some information that we've now found out about this house. First DIY in the new house. I'm so excited today. We're gonna work on a project that is actually in alignment with some information that we found out about this 1920s abandoned home that we bought. Or at least, so we think that's what it was when we bought it. So actually, when we visited Nova Scotia about 4 years ago, one of the things that we really wanted to, as a family, bring home with us at that time back to Ontario was an old ship wheel. And now that we've learned some information about this house, this is actually a very fitting thing that we wanted to bring back. We were not able to find one when we were here. So Philip's mom, as amazing as she is, always on a good hunt for things, found us an old ship wheel. I think this is absolutely incredible. It's super heavy. It's a real ship wheel. And I love the brass in the middle here. And so today in our video, I have a neat idea on how I can update this and kind of put this into the design elements that we're going to do in this new house. Buying this house sight unseen meant that Philip and I only got a little bit of information about the house. And the little bit that we knew, or what we were told, was that this house was built in 1920, which we thought was pretty incredible, that this house was over 100 years old. And there were so many characteristics about this house that we loved. Like the hallway tin that you guys saw us do and the hallway renovation this last week and a half.
Oh, and that it's haunted.
Oh, and that it's haunted. We keep getting so many comments about the fact that the house must be haunted. So far, have we seen anything or heard anything?
No, I haven't seen or heard, but we might have to dig in and do some investigation.
We've been looking through everything, and I'm confident to walk around outside on our property at nighttime to run to the garage or something for something, or to go through all the areas of the house. I'm one of those people, normally when you have a basement, you kind of like go downstairs, flip the light, and then bolt back up the stairs. I'm a chicken about the dark, so
no,
I'm
you're
not like,
not.
Well, I used to do that at the old house.
No, maybe the basement.
Yeah, but
I think everybody does that. They go down, they turn the light off, and then they run upstairs because they don't want to look behind.
Well, I haven't been doing that here, and I'm happy to go down at night into the kitchen or outside to the garage if I forget something that I need or anything like that. So I don't think it's haunted here. So far, there's no one here.
The only thing haunting these properties are the porcupine in the woods.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, we need to tell them what we saw on our drive. We went to pick up a few supplies, and we were coming home, and it was dusk.
Yeah, it was dusk. I think it was around 8 o'clock.
Yeah, about 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And we were just 5 minutes prior to this joking about how Philip's mom was so worried with us moving here because there's bears. And we've been camping before with Phil's parents, and she's always so worried about the bears.
That's the only thing.
That's the only thing she's worried about.
Yeah.
So we were driving, and about 5 minutes, maybe about 7 minutes from our house, I said, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be so funny if today we saw a bear and we were like a rabbit, and listing off all these animals we would love to see that we really haven't seen a whole lot, but we've seen tons of porcupine. Like I've never seen so many porcupine in my life.
No. And
actually I'd never seen any porcupine in real life out in the wilds until we got here. Little behold, literally 2 minutes down the road was the most gigantic bear that we have ever seen. And we've seen them before up in Algonquin, but never this big.
No, this is the biggest black bear I've seen. I've seen some pretty big bear in Alaska with my dad and my brother. We saw a grizzly bear, but this black bear was almost the size of a grizzly. I swear, it was huge.
Big, fat, super well-fed, healthy bear.
We were in the FJ, and it almost looked like it was half the size of the FJ.
It was huge.
It was huge. It ran right in front of us, and I couldn't get the camera out in time, and you don't really want to disturb a bear, and I'm definitely not going to get out of the car to take a picture at all.
We wanted to see it because it was the first one
But we
saw.
wanted our YouTube family to see it, so I tried to get the camera, but it was in the woods before I could even get it going.
Well, as soon as it saw our headlights, it was kind of like,
So
I'm out, where's the forest entrance?
Yeah, so I think from now on, if we do any nighttime safaris, we'll have to strap the GoPro to the top of the FJ.
New rule.
So,
GoPro has to be rolling.
There always has to be some footage going.
Well, so we haven't actually seen anything haunted in the house, and we're excited when we see animals, obviously in nature around here because we love animals. So any animals we see, Philip, as you saw in the clip about a couple weeks ago, there was an owl following him when he was quadding. That's the second time he's seen the owl. So we have seen quite a bit of pretty awesome wildlife. But once the weather gets warmer, hopefully we get to see some ocean creatures as well. But
yeah, we'll head
forest
down.
friends are good for now. House is not haunted that we know of. So we did find out that this house was actually not built in 1920.
What?
And one of the things, couple reasons ways that we found this out was I actually met and ran into a real estate agent at the local grocery store who actually used to.
First off, I have to say, everybody that we've met in our area have been absolutely lovely.
So lovely. We're so thankful.
The people that live in Nova Scotia are beautiful people, and I can't be more happier with how lovely everyone has been.
And no one knows who we are here, so we don't get like a special YouTube family kindness treatment or anything. So it's kind of just nice to see how genuinely kind and helpful, and like everybody here, it goes out of their way. You go to put your shopping cart away at the grocery store and someone's trying to take it from you and you're like, why are you taking my cart? And they're trying to put it away for you. Like they go out of their way to do really kind things. So it's really been really lovely here and we've loved it. But when I was at the local grocery store, I ran into a lovely woman who actually was the listing agent selling this house to a couple of the buyers previously to us. And she told me a little bit of information about the house, and actually found me online later and emailed me some photos of what the house looked like for the actual listing to owners prior to this. I believe it was.
Yeah.
And so I think probably we'll be able to share those.
Yeah, if I have all that, absolutely. Yeah.
So we'll share those in the video so you guys can see how they had the house set up. So it was really neat to see what rooms they used for what.
There was a nursery.
Yeah, there was a nursery here.
The kitchen, actually, there was an installed kitchen. You wouldn't believe it now, but there was a kitchen installed.
Why did they rip it out? I don't even know. Because it was a fully operating, like actually pretty nice kitchen. Like old, but nice functional kitchen. And she said, you need to go to the local community center here when our lockdown is over and be able to do some research. So we're actually going to go do that once we're in our phases where we can go out and do that. But for now, we've learned that this house was actually not built in 1920, but this house was actually built in 1889. So even older than we thought. Which, I have to say, YouTube family, you guys several of you had commented that this house looked more like an 1880s house than a house from 1920.
I also read a bunch of comments that they were saying that. You
knew. So we thought that's pretty fun that it's actually a lot older than we thought. But one of the things that we thought was really cool was that this house was actually an old captain's quarters. And apparently the captain that had this house, Captain Myers, I believe we know now sort of what the name is. We're going to do some more research.
Yeah.
But he was a big part of the history of this area. And so we're so excited to find out as much information as we can.
Yeah.
Which leads me to thinking why this ship wheel that we're doing a DIY on today is super fun, because not only does this give Philip apparently the excuse to have a boat and be Captain Philip eventually, because this house needs a new captain, but to have an old ship wheel in the house is
ahoy matey.
Ahoy matey. Philip's mom picked this ship wheel up back about 4 years ago at a market, searching for one because we weren't able to bring one home from Nova Scotia. And so we're going to do this little revamp on it. So I'm going to paint the whole thing white. I'm going to leave the brass.
And where are you going to put it, hon?
And I have 2 huge renovation projects interior this month. We're going to work on the living room and the dining room.
Let's go.
Kind of coinciding with each other at the same time, because a lot of the things that need to be done in both those rooms, restoration-wise, needs to be kind of the same. Ripping out the plaster and fixing and repairing the walls and things like that. So I think we're going to make the mess once, because this week, Thursday, our flooring arrives.
Oh my gosh.
So
and this is flooring that I haven't even seen. Elysia didn't even bring a template home.
There wasn't one to bring home. I took a picture of it and he was like, just go pick the flooring. It's gonna be so nice. When we actually get the flooring on Thursday, it will be the first time that Philip's seeing the flooring along with our YouTube family, which I think is pretty fun. The kids haven't seen it either, because I had to pick it just from a small swatch at the store. Flooring is so hard. If you've ever picked flooring before, when you have just a small little piece, it's hard because you can't see what the planks are going to look like.
All I know is I hope the flooring matches this hallway. Otherwise, I know we're painting it again.
No, we're not painting it again. It's perfect now. I love it. The flooring that we've picked, we are doing throughout the entire house. So we kind of did
we
go big or go home with the flooring, and we
Yeah.
ordered 2,500 square feet
Oh my
of flooring
gosh.
at once. Where is it gonna go as we work room by room?
Everywhere. Yeah, where are we gonna store it?
I don't know yet.
Maybe the boxes in each room. So if we can break it up by square footage, so those boxes can go in the room.
The other thing that's really exciting that we're going to be working on in the next week and a half is our heating and cooling system. Company is coming.
You have no idea. I'm so excited.
We have no ductwork or anything, so this is going to be a huge project that we're going to be working on. And all of the kitchen is now ordered. And we're looking at about 20 weeks out for kitchen cabinets and everything. So we're still kind of living like we're camping in the kitchen.
Which we're professional at right now.
We're professional at that, yeah. I'm doing this around the edges of this brass with the smaller brush because I don't want to get any paint on the actual brass part.
Right.
That's why it's taking me forever to do this. I don't want to put any painter's tape on it in case it pulls off any of the patina that's on the actual brass part.
I'm so excited to see this turn out. I've never seen anything like it, and it's such a unique idea. Actually, and it's going to go with our style.
It was your idea to do this DIY.
I get all the credit if it doesn't work out.
It's going to work out. It's going to be gorgeous. So I'm actually I didn't do any light sanding first. I'm just using an actual chalk paint to do this. And I don't use chalk paint that much, but I thought rather than doing any scraping or anything with the sandpaper on this, that I would just chalk paint it.
Elysia ordered something really unique and kind of custom to us and to the dining room. So it's a little gift for the dining room. Do you think it's going to be in today? It
says that the tracking should show up today, which I'm excited about because it actually said it was going to come Friday, and then it changed the tracking, so they must have just not had enough time on Friday. So I'm eagerly anticipating this to come.
And I didn't know I'd be so excited about like a decor piece, but I am extremely excited for this piece.
Funny, when you see what it is, you are going to die laughing of the fact that Philip is excited about this particular item.
Yeah.
Because it's very ironic that Philip would be so excited about this. Oh.
But I am.
But he is.
Tell me a little bit about the dining room. I know you know a little bit more about it than I do.
One of the things that I was excited about moving to this house was that we would have sort of a formal dining room. And we did have a dining room at the other house, but it wasn't a separate room. It was kind of off of the living room, as you guys saw the layout. And it was never really like formal or set up where we had like fancy dishes or we had a specific set that we would just use at Christmas. It was kind of just the table that we ate at. You saw us do DIY crafts at.
Yeah.
Just wasn't really a space. It was a multi-purpose space. And so I really liked that this older house had what I would consider like an old-fashioned dining room. And it's a gigantic size, which is so lovely because I wanted to have a great big grand table, which is here, by the way. You guys are going to see furniture tour this week.
It's gorgeous.
It's so nice. I wanted to have enough space to be able to store. There's a little closet in there. Some of my seasonal things. I like vintage dishes, vintage glassware, and vintage kitchenware and things. And there's just never a place to put them. And so there's a gorgeous cabinet.
Oh, so now you have a whole room.
I have a whole room where I can put that stuff. One of the things that I really thought was pretty neat was just that we would have a formal dining room. And I had a really neat idea on what I wanted to do in that space. But then I found out some information about the church across the street.
Yeah.
And a lot of you guys have been commenting about, I'm working on the little outdoor porch table that Philip and I brought because it's been raining the past couple of days. Everything is soaked outside.
Yeah.
And because we have elements of renovation stuff in all the rooms, it isn't really a very good place to work unless you're outside right now. The little church across the street is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
It has stained glass windows and stuff on the one side, and it is the most beautiful view, not only looking at the church, but from the church looking at our house. It's kind of up on a hill, and our house just looks so beautiful from that view. And we found out that the church used to utilize the dining room here in this captain's quarters to do hosting of fancy dinners, and they would have fancy dishes and all of the beautiful things that I wanted to incorporate into the dining room. So I thought that was really fun, and I hope we find more information about that. But
yeah.
I'm not sure why they use this house yet, so that will be interesting to find out why this house, because there are houses that are close around this.
Well, and the
as
church
well.
looks big enough that it would have.
Been able to host.
You can't get in the church, and the church isn't operating right now. But the church it's a substantial size, so you would think that they'd be able to host venues inside that church.
And the dining room isn't that big to host like a lot of people,
right.
So I'm not sure if it was just like super important people or if it was for a specific reason. So we're interested in finding that out. But once our lockdown is over here, we'll be able to go to that community center and apparently there's a area in the community center where there's a lot of history documents and things of this area, which tells the story of a lot about our house, especially we're being told by some people in the local area, which is pretty cool. So if you are from the local area and you know anything about our house and you watch the videos, then please send us a message.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to find out as much as we possibly can. We're trying to pick a name for the property also, but we haven't been able to set on one.
We do have a really nice name that we keep saying and mentioning, but it's not really set in stone yet.
Yeah, we're just kind of testing it out in our heads for a couple days.
So please leave as many names as you possibly can down in the comments. Help us out.
Okay, and I also want to know, because I'm torn on where I should start. If I should start with the living room renovation or the dining room renovation. And part of me...
Here's the thing. The dining room is awesome and is going to turn out amazing with that custom piece that's coming in. And it would be... I know our YouTube family would love the outcome of it, but we don't have a kitchen. So to dine would be pointless right now.
Are you saying we're having a dining room that we don't have anything to eat?
I'm saying that we're cooking a lot of TV dinners right now, and we're not doing so much dining.
For the record, we haven't cooked any TV dinners.
I think you know what I mean.
Electric frying pan, toaster, barbecue, and crock pot. Yeah, we've been utilizing all of the kitchen gadgets.
Yeah,
and
I feel like
we've never been people that owned a lot of kitchen gadgets, and we moved here. Now we have like an air fryer. Yeah, all these things we never had before.
So with that being said, maybe the living room might be the better option. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm excited about both rooms. That's why I'm torn on where to start. But
I know
they both work off of this hallway, so getting the flooring into the hallway
well,
is
when we install the flooring, we'll be working the flooring from the hallway in anyway. So the hallway will then get tied, finished, and then into both living room or dining room should be finished around the same time. We will be able to get that done in a day.
The flooring in a day?
This part. There's no way we can get the flooring done in a day.
I'm like, I'm gonna hold you to that. The whole house with flooring in one. I'm excited for the flooring to come.
I'm glad you're excited because 2,500 square feet, that excitement's gonna end real quick.
It's gonna change the look of the whole house. And we've had quite a few questions about why are we not restoring any of the flooring that's in the house right now.
This floor
the floor that you can see that I'm standing on is not even here. There's no flooring where I'm on the hallway floor here.
No.
It's not salvageable on the living room and dining room. On camera, it might look like you could just restore it, but Philip and I have restored hardwood flooring before, and this is not safely salvageable because we have kids in here, and it's just not, there's no way we can make it work.
There's spots that were repaired that aren't the same type of wood, and so even if you did sand it down and you got it as smooth as you possibly could get it, and then it's still not going to look the way you want it.
We're going to go cohesive throughout the whole house.
Wait, let me say it. We're going to go cohesive throughout the house so the upstairs and the downstairs look the same. How's that wheel coming, Captain Elysia?
I think it turned out really nice, and I added a whole bunch of distressing, and then I think I'm gonna wait for about 24 hours and then put just a clear wax on it. That way if I ever want to wipe it off and dust it, since it is just a chalk paint. But I think it looks really updated now. I did like the wood, but I think just the wood peeking through and having it white where I know I'm going to put it in the house, I think this is perfect. And then I like the brass part in the middle. That was my favorite part. So I left that part brass. But it's a 220 grit sandpaper to distress the chalk paint really brought that wood tone through. So I love it. Fitting for the house, captain's quarters.
I love it. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's amazing.
Little nautical vibes. If you've been following along on our 1920s abandoned home series, we now need a new name for this series, maybe 1899 abandoned home series. We're gonna have to think of something new for this because now we know that the age of this home is so much older than we thought. Good thing in the same era of the designs that I've actually wanted to do for the house still falls into that category. So a lot of things I have planned are still kind of on track for the age of this home. So if you want to see a full tour from the very beginning, as well as actually walking in, I'll put the card above for you if you've missed that tour. I want you to see where we're starting from to see how far in a little bit of time, how far we've actually gonna come on the renovations. We're gonna move through this pretty quickly because we have a lot of work to do. So join our series, hit subscribe. See you guys on the next video.